Shalom. All praises, honor, and glorification unto our mighty, marvelous, and terrible power. Kol halaim la alahayna wa Yahweh ba'ashem Yahushai ba'ashem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations as well as health and wellness unto the hopeful elect of Yahweh ba'ashem Yahushai scattered across the earth. This is your brother Allah coming to you with another lesson. And Lord willing, this lesson will be entitled regarding husbands. And I have a good amount of scriptures that I want to bring forth. Lord willing, this will be a quick hitter or a quick hit. But ultimately, Lord willing, the elect of Yahweh ba'ashem Yahushai be edified. I just did a video entitled Re, in the kingdom we will be praised and rightly so. And, for the most part, went into the purpose of women and women walking in their right place. So on and so forth. But, balance was brought to my mind. So now, because brothers get on the women, but brothers get on the men too. But I wanted to do a video regarding husbands, which is something that me personally, I don't talk about that much. So for the sake of utilizing balance and exercising it, and of course, for the edification of the flock, Spirit told me to do this video. So, first, let me get the book of Ecclesiasticus, the 4th chapter, right? Because we are the head, but you also want to be balanced within that element of being the head. So this is Ecclesiasticus 4:30. It reads, "Be not as a lion in thy house, nor frantic among thy servants," which, remember, the woman is our servant, right? So you can also apply in that to not being frantic. Let me see, frantic. What the fucking hell? Frantic definition, excuse my French. It says wild or distraught with fear, anxiety, or other emotion. So it says wild or distraught with fear. Distraught meaning worried, okay, with fear. Right? So, and going into how the woman's our servant, right? The woman is a servant unto the man, which in the previous video, I already broke down, the meaning of the word woman, wife, man, etc. So just go back and watch that one. And then, come back and watch this one if you desire, right? So, but dealing with how the woman is a servant, Genesis 3:16, "Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. And sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee." Right? The servant's desire is unto the king, just like the woman's desire ought to be unto the man, or a wife's desire unto her husband. And it says, "And he shall rule over thee," just like the king rules over the servant. But you also have to be balanced within that element of ruling, because you don't want to rule with rigor. Well, that's probably not the right word, rigor. Let me see, definition. The quality of being extremely thorough, exhaustive, or accurate, severity. Well, no, you want to be strict, right? You want to have standards and boundaries. The scriptures say where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. So, X that out. Ecclesiasticus 36:25. But you don't want to be a lion in your house, right? We're instructed not to. Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled, and he that hath no wife wander up and down mourning, right? And the possession is the woman, as you read in the 24th verse. "He that getteth a wife beginneth for possession, a help," which another word for help is servant, "like unto himself." Why like unto himself? Because the word man means servant as well. But the man is a servant unto the Lord. The woman is a servant unto the man. A help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. And I'll bring it out again for the sake of edification. Right? So let's look up woman. The word woman, you see on the right side of wifman or wifeman, it says woman, female servant. Dealing with the word wife, it goes back to woman, so it all ties together. Wife, you see on the right side of neuter, woman, female, lady. And dealing with man, you see that it says on the right side of hero, also servant. So, you know, let me also get 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter and the 3rd verse. But I will have you know that the head of every man is the anointed, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of the anointed is the Most High. Right? So as a head, you have to rule, right? Just like your mind has to rule the body. Well, the husband has to rule over the wife. Yeah? This is 1 Peter 3:7. It reads, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, them being wives, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. 8, finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another, love as brethren, be pitiful, be courteous, not rendering evil for evil, or railing for railing, but contrariwise blessing, knowing that ye are thereunto called, that ye should inherit a blessing. Right? Of course, you know, ultimately the whole dynamic between, you know, men and women will be set straight in the kingdom. But of course, now you use wisdom, you know, you may just have to, you know, you just deal, you know, hey, right? Because the scriptures also say, you know, we're in captivity and we have to bear the indignation of the Lord. So we're not going to get, you know, our desire to its fullest until in the kingdom, right? I believe that's written. In a sense, let me see. Okay, well, you got this, Psalms 34:9. Oh, fear the Lord, ye his saints, for there is no want to them that fear him. Right? But, Psalms 37:4, I thought so. It reads, delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. See, and we're going to get that in the kingdom, ultimately, right, to its fullest and beyond, really, right? But, so next, let me get Ephesians, the 5th chapter. Ephesians 5, and let's see, 25. It reads, husbands, love your wives, even as the anointed also loved the church and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word, which goes back to Psalms 1. Well, you can go back to Psalms 119:9, right? Beth, wherewith shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto according to thy word, right? Because the word is a filter, right? It filters, it's a filter of right and wrong, you know? And the word of the Lord is the standard throughout all the earth that determines whether something is right, wrong, true, false, so on and so forth. And it ought to be upheld, and it will be in the kingdom of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, right? And fully established, right? The heathens, you know, it will be perfect. The kingdom would be perfect. And the Israelites, not the heathens, though. Right, but 27, that he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. So all men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. For no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourisheth and cherisheth it, even as the Lord the church. For we are members of his body, of his flesh, and of his bones. For this cause shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh. Like I got something in my eye. 32. This is a great mystery, but I speak concerning the anointed in the church. Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife even as himself, and the wife see that she reverence her husband. Here you go. I didn't even know that was there, that part. Right, so next let me get Colossians, the 3rd chapter, verse 19. And it reads, husbands, love your wives, and be not bitter against them. Which brings my mind back to not being a lion in your house and ruling with balance. Right, but of course you have boundaries, so on and so forth. Right, but, shouting and nah, Verse 19, husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them. But you do what's necessary. But don't be, I got this word from the elder Apostle Gabar, don't be superfluous. Or don't operate in the element of superfluity. Right, unnecessariness, if that's a word. Right, so let me get Titus 2:1. It reads, but speak thou the things which become sound doctrine. Salakia. Verse 2, that the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith and charity and patience. Jumping down to verse 6, young men likewise exhort to be sober-minded, which goes into self-control mentally, right? Mental control, right? Mental self-control. Because, let's look it up, right? I'll say if I'm not mistaken, because I haven't touched on this in a while. But you see it says to be in one's right mind, to exercise self-control, of course, mentally, because it says sober-minded. So it's dealing with, because when you're not sober, you lack self-control, right? When you have, a few drinks or two, right? You get a bit tipsy or whatever, right? Your self-control decreases. Maybe not for everybody, but for the most part, indeed. So sober deals with self-control. So it says sober-minded, so that's dealing with mental self-control. Yeah. So verse 7, in all things shewing thyself a pattern of good works, and doctrine showing uncorruptness, gravity, sincerity, sound speech that cannot be condemned, right? That he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you. See that? And you can also apply this to the woman too. Verse 9, exhort servants to be obedient unto their own masters, because we already brought out how the woman is a servant unto the man. So the man is, the master of the woman. And I can actually prove that down to the T. Genesis 3:16, when it says, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. That word rule, let's look it up. Let's see. Right? What does it say? Down here, it says mastery. Right? There you go. So, yeah. So that's pretty much the point. With that, Lord willing, you were edified. Once again and forever, all praises, honor, and glorification unto our mighty, merciful, and marvelous power. Call Halaim La Alahayan Nawi Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations as well as health and wellness unto the hopeful elect of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai scattered across the earth. See you in the next lesson, Lord willing. And Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Baba Kasha Abba Babor. Shalom DTA soon and stay sharp.